robust economy, which can provide adequate resources to facilitate the fulfillment of various obligations of state and actualize the rights of citizens. Economic development is therefore a fundamental premise for the realization of our constitutional dispensation, and it is right to see the Constitution as outlining both the ends and the means of our broader freedom struggle. We want freedom in order to achieve shared prosperity, but we also need prosperity to guarantee and ensure freedom. The Constitution of Kenya 2010 is a radical and the most comprehensive transformative achievement by the people of Kenya since the attainment of independence from the colonial rule. Within this radically transformational instrument, there can be no debate about the role of devolution as a fundamentally critical national value and principle of governance and the crown jewel on our constitutional dispensation. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that our country's fortunes, to a decisive extent, are dependent on how we manage the devolution of national power and resources. Devolution actually goes to our viability as a political community, stability as a nation, and sustainability as the collective socio-economic project of the people. My support for devolution, therefore, anchored on the understanding that the flourishing of our grassroots is a precondition to national economic transformation, and that bottom-up sharing of duties and benefits, obligations and rights is the fundamental common denominator of both the devolved system of governance and our bottom-up economic transformation agenda. While devolution is a national value that must inspire all our actions, devolved governments are the focal points of the devolution project, whose role becomes more and more vital as the full implication of our constitutional dispensation becomes defined. Whether and how we support, respect, uphold, and defend devolution matters. In the Declaration of the Republic, the Constitution describes Kenya as a sovereign republic founded on the national values and principle of governance referred to in Article 10. The first bundle of these values includes sharing and devolution of power. Article 6 describes our national territory in terms of counties and then emphasizes that the national and county levels of governments are distinct and interdependent and required to conduct their mutual relations on the basis of consultation and cooperation. This is the philosophical foundation of Chapter 11 of the Constitution, which sets out the framework of devolved governance in greater detail. Intergovernmental consultations and cooperation not only serves as a mechanism for reconciling the tensions arising from the two distinct yet interdependent levels of government, but it is also a framework to give devolution the best chance to deliver to the people. I believe in the power of intergovernmental relations to anchor devolution and also facilitate national socio-economic transformation. As the apex forum of intergovernmental relations, the National and County Government Coordination Summit must be seen in this light. My faith in the power of this forum as a force of national good is therefore absolute. I am therefore delighted to extend a warm welcome to all distinguished participants as we convene for the 10th National County Coordinating Summit, another important moment to reaffirm our commitment to the ideals of devolution through robust intergovernmental relations by the principle outlined in the Intergovernmental Relations Act of 2012. At the very onset, I wish to underscore that devolution remains as the cornerstone of effective service delivery. I recognize devolution as the optimal mechanism for delivering important services and implementing essential projects and programs in line with our bottom-up economic transformation agenda. At the same time, I am proud to note that my administration has made substantial progress in promoting devolution as a principle and value, pursuing it as a policy and strategic objective, and consolidating the gains of devolution, notably through the following interventions. For the first time since the advent of devolution, the National Treasury has endeavored to disperse all the allocations to counties as at the end of financial year 2022-2023. It was a difficult exercise, but I made a commitment, and I want to say, for the first time, we made sure that there were no outstanding monies that are owed to devolution at the end of the financial year. Consequently, the IFMIS deadline was extended to allow county governments utilize the funds. To actualize my commitment to transfer all pending devolved functions, the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee has been tasked to undertake a detailed analysis of the functions as per the 4th schedule of the Constitution. The analysis entailed unbundling of functions and the identification of necessary legislative interventions necessary to facilitate the performance of the functions and provision of necessary resources. Accordingly, I have instructed IGRTC to thoroughly engage all relevant stakeholders in order to avoid conflicts and acrimonious litigation in court. I shall therefore require them to engage with the stakeholders for a further 2 months to validate and approve the reports, therefore, before they are gazetted. The Office of the Attorney General, and I'm happy the Attorney General is here, is also directed to work very closely with IGRTC on this matter. Intergovernmental collaboration continues to be indispensable in the implementation of county industrial and aggregation parks, a critical enabler of transformation across value chains under a joint funding framework whereby each level of government contributes 250 million. And the ceremony we have witnessed here speaks to the necessity of building this infrastructure for purposes of making sure that we have a value chain approach to what is produced in our farms all the way to the export market. We are united in the vision that the CAIPs shall propel local economic growth, ensuring value addition, market linkages, and industrialization. And let me also report that in my visit to India last 2 weeks, we managed to agree with the Indian government for support for our county aggregation and industrial parks. And they are going to extend a facility of 10 billion shillings for value addition infrastructure in our county aggregation and industrial parks. Under the economic stimulus program, the national government has set aside 5.2 billion in the current financial year for the construction of markets. This joint intergovernmental program is expected to develop 400 markets across the country. Currently, 22 markets are under construction, 179 have been advertised, and 5 are currently undergoing design. Further, the fertilizer subsidy program, which has revitalized the agriculture sector by enhancing production and food security, is a shining testament to the synergy between the two levels of government. So far, 5 million farmers have been registered and have benefited to a great extent from the program, and I wish to express my profound appreciation to the county governments for ensuring the fertilizers were delivered to the last mile. To provide inclusive, effective, and accessible healthcare to our people, we have implemented far-reaching reforms in the health sector. Consequently, I recently assented to 4 crucial laws which are expected to anchor the implementation of universal health coverage, affirming our commitment to transform healthcare. Additionally, 100,000 community health promoters were deployed with the support of county governments and equipped as frontline players in delivery of preventive and promotive healthcare as opposed to the curative healthcare. I commend county governments for collaborating with the Ministry of Health on this agenda as agreed in the 9th summit. I am proud to announce that we have made significant progress in the implementation of our affordable housing program, which is now firmly underway in various counties. Thanks to the county governments, our goals of building a minimum of 200,000 houses every year is firmly on course. To date, 39 counties have agreed to collaborate with the national government in the delivery of our affordable housing development agenda. The Affordable Housing Bill 2023, which has been tabled in Parliament, is intended to facilitate the implementation of the program after the court decided that they needed clarity in how we are going to deliver this program. The catastrophic effects of the ongoing El Nino rains, particularly in parts of eastern and coastal regions and northeastern, are challenges that demand immediate attention and bold, effective solutions and innovations to alleviate the suffering faced by our people. Counties have the responsibility of providing and offering the necessary support to your residents. For its part, the national government continues to offer its support, and reconvening of the El Nino Response and Mitigation Committee is crucial to supplement financing for interventions undertaken by counties in response to the ongoing El Nino rains. Further, Parliament is actively expediting the enactment of the Disaster Management Law. I also take this opportunity to call upon the Council of Governors to collaborate with the national government in hastening the implementation of resolutions made during our 9th summit, as well as various IBEC resolutions of the Intergovernmental Budget and Economic Committee and enhance citizen services. County governments are encouraged to advance strategies for environmental conservation, sustainable use of natural resources, including the protection of wildlife migration corridors, and participating in the 15 billion tree planting initiative. I take this opportunity to thank all the county governments for their support extended so far, as they have enabled us make every corner of Kenya green. Further, the national government will allocate a grant of 250 million to the remaining 29 counties through the supplementary budget in the financial year 2023-2024 for the implementation of the county aggregation and industrial parks. We also aim to fast-track the signing of financing agreements for negotiated programs like Kenya Urban Support Program 2, facilitating inclusion in the Additional Allocation Bill 2023. I take this opportunity to affirm my commitment to the enhancement of our engagements through the summit by convening biannually in February and November, and gladly note that the IGRTC has already prepared summit's administrative guidelines and a calendar to guide future summit meetings. I applaud you for that as the IGRTC. This will deepen consultation and cooperation between national and county governments, solidifying the country's devolution agenda. In conclusion, I express gratitude for your commitment and pivotal role in fostering intergovernmental relations. Together, let us remain steadfast in unlocking the transformative promise of devolution. The dividends of our collective efforts are evident and should affirm, encourage, and inspire us as we proceed along our path forwards into a prosperous future for all. I continue to encourage all of you to refer any issues, disagreements, and misunderstandings that may arise in the course of the execution of our various roles to alternative dispute resolution mechanisms as the first opportunity to resolve them. I am therefore encouraged to note that most counties are now referring their disputes from the courts to the IGRTC for alternative dispute resolution. I once again wish to thank you for your commitment to actualizing sound intergovernmental relations. Together, let us remain resolute in leveraging devolution's potential to its fullest for the benefit of all Kenyans, all the way from the grassroots at the bottom of the socioeconomic pyramid. The dividends of effective collaboration between the national and county governments are evident and should be the guiding beacon for our collective efforts. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this meeting. I have been informed by the chair that most of the issues are already by and large agreed, and therefore we will take as much time as we need to make sure that we conclude the balance of the issues, and I look forward to a wonderful deliberation. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Is adoption of the agenda.